All right, welcome back. I think enough people have beaten it to a pulp by now about how important it is to keep good quality people around you, and the quality of men specifically in your life will greatly impact the quality of your life. If you hang around with shitty people, why would you expect to have a good life, right? Like you're going to have shitty results because of the environment that you keep yourself in, of course, right? Everybody knows this. So it is very important to keep yourself around high quality people so you can have a high quality life. It's simple math, right? But a lot of people, what they don't talk about is how do you actually attract that type of person into your life? How do you want them to be your friend? How do you want to have them be around you, right? Like that is what is missing from this equation a lot of times is they don't talk about what is the qualities of you that are important to attract that type of person, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to go over today, and I'm also going to tell you about the number one universal trait that no matter whether you're a man or a woman trying to attract a man, right? This is specifically about attracting high quality men as friends, whatever it may be, into your life. Women are a different story, and that's a different video for a different day. But specifically, there is one universal trait that all, I don't like the term high value man. It's kind of condescending, it's kind of weird. I like to qualify, men that I want around in my life as men of value, right? And if you haven't seen the video on how to create abundant wealth in your life, go back and watch that one, because a man of value, I think, is not only financially secure, but they also are secure in their mind, their body, their energy. They are motivated. They have a good lifestyle. They don't need anything from you, right? They don't need anything, so they can just provide, right? So that is a man of value. And if you're trying to attract a man of value, there is one universal trait that I'll go over that will help you attract that type of person in your life. But before we begin, it's important to understand the perspective from that type of man and how they see the world, right? Because if you don't understand the perspective of how they see the world, then you won't be able to attract that type of person. So you have to get out of yourself and bring in the perspective of someone else. So I'm going to give you an example of how that type of man sees the world, right? And I'll give you an example for me, for instance, right? Like if somebody sacrificed and actually did what was necessary and gave up time, effort, energy into creating a life of value, they think, hey, I didn't knock on all these doors every day. I didn't at the end of the day go look at YouTube videos all night on how to renovate my rental properties all night and then go back to knocking doors again and then repeat it over and over again. And then even on weekends, I sacrificed to bartend and did all these things just so now my life could be surrounded by negative people, right? Like nobody thinks that, hey, I sacrificed all this stuff. Now I'm just going to allow everybody to take from me. Nobody thinks like that, right? So you have to understand the perspective of if you do not add some, value to their life, or you don't need anything, you just want to be a person that is of value, then why would they want you around, right? So you have to understand the perspective of that type of person, right? If you do not bring anything to the table, why would they keep you around? Okay, so that's the first thing. You just understand the perspective of that type of person. You have to understand if they've sacrificed, they've given, they've done all these things to create a life that they no longer need anything. Then you need to be that type of person, right? You need to be that type of person to attract that type of person, right? So the reason why I say this is because there is a trait that is kind of the most attractive trait by any man's standards, that if you have this trait, then you 100% can, no matter how much money you have, whatever it may be, you are still attracted to that person, and you can add value, right? And a lot of times we all have this, but something in our past may hold us back from using it to our full potential. And I want to share with you a story that for many years held me back from actually allowing myself to fully jump into that trait, right? So, and usually most of the time when I talk to people, it's something in their past that has stopped them from actually achieving the full potential in that specific trait as well. And I remember it was like, it was back in like 5th grade, and I was playing dodgeball in gym class, right? And I like to go hard, right? I like to play to my maximum capacity in everything that I do. And I remember, I'm throwing the balls, I'm dodging, I'm catching balls, right? And it's so fun. And then all of a sudden, this kid comes up to me that wasn't trying that hard or whatever. And he called me, he goes, okay, try hard. And I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? It caught me back, and I was like, damn, you're in fifth grade, you don't want to be exiled from the community, right? And it was a cooler kid or whatever, and that immediately made me kind of, shrivel up and be like, all right, I guess if I try hard, I don't want to be disliked by these people. So what happened was is I started to associate trying hard with being exiled from the community or whatever it may be. And it was a terrible thing because that actually forced me a lot of times in high school and middle school to not really do my best, right? I pulled back because I thought I would be judged for trying hard. And a lot of people have similar situations, but understand that the only people that will make fun of you or tease you for being a tryhard is somebody that you don't want in your life anyways, right? That type of person with that mentality, because they see you trying hard, brings them down. It brings them down because they don't want to try hard, right? So because you're trying hard, it makes them feel bad. Your job is not to stop other people from feeling bad. If they're going to feel bad, that's on them, right? Because you're doing something that's effortful and useful and trying to do the best that you can do in whatever you're doing. If that person doesn't appreciate that, then you don't want that person around, right? And I promise you this, and the reason why I'm telling you this as a story is because the belief that you have about something is stopping you from doing something, right? So I'm trying to tell you a better story. The story is, if you try hard, successful men of value will be attracted to you. Effort is the number one trait that will be attracted by any man of value because they understand that it took effort to get where they are. So if they see you trying hard, that is actually the most attractive trait. Whereas the person that is not trying hard and doesn't have a good life, who you don't want around in your life anyways, they are not trying hard. So the only people that will dismiss you for trying hard are the people that you don't want around anyways, okay? So the main lesson here today is understand that there may be this belief in your brain that trying hard or, you need to get things easily or whatever it may be because of something in your past. It is a false belief. Those type of people will only pull you down. And I promise you, anybody in my life that has that type of belief, I will immediately put them out of my life. I do not need that. I don't want that negativity. Like I said, I have worked hard, I have sacrificed, I have done all these things. So why would I want that type of person around in my life? Obviously not, right? So you have to understand that it's the wrong belief to have. The correct belief is I'm going to try my best at everything I do. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to try hard. That's great. I now reframe the belief in my brain as I am a tryhard. So I'm going to try hard and I'm going to have a good life, and that's fine. And the people that are around me, they're going to try hard too, and they're going to push me, and that's great, right? So that is the secret to attracting high quality men. And whether you're a woman watching this video or a man, right? A woman, understand that is the perspective of how that man sees the world. So they don't want to just have you around if you're not trying hard in the relationship and you're just pretty or whatever it may be. You need to add value in another way. But if you're a man and you're trying to attract, quality brothers and things like that, you need to try hard, right? If you are at a place in your life and you come to me, asking for advice, I am happy to help. But if you no longer show me the effort of doing something that I tell you to do and you're just taking it in as knowledge and you don't do anything, then I can no longer help you. And you no longer, just honestly, you just don't exist in my brain. I don't have enough room for it, right? And one of the quotes that my dad would tell me was, when I was growing up, was words are very cheap, Matt. People can write scripts, people can take time to write out things of words, but they're cheap. They're not that valuable. What's truly valuable are the actions that people show you. And over enough period of time, people will show you the actions that they actually truly are, right? So the value comes from the action, not from the words. So don't be a philosopher, and trying to tell me all this stuff without actually doing anything, right? And you'll be able to attract the type of people in your life that are high quality, of high value, and just genuinely men of value, okay? So hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, if there's something that you want to go deeper on, if there's something that I missed, or obviously all this stuff has a little nuance to it, then shoot me a message, like the video, subscribe. I will talk to you again soon, but make sure to stay effortful. All right? Later. Peace.